how easy that is. Literally just stood up and just went full flopper. Flop. Why is it so easy that when you just stand there and just don't care? You do that more often.
You obviously care too much.
Care too much.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sit. Sit.
Hands up if you're not looking forward to your putt.
Sit.
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 Seriously.
Sit. Sit.
It's a good shot.
That was a duck.
Doesn't
That was
matter.
nearly double it. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Bad when this is the best part of the day. We had a full day at it there though.
Yeah, a few challenges, a little bit of playing, a bit of practice afterwards, working on things. We didn't do too well, which is a good thing with playing first sometimes.
Day wasn't long enough though. Day wasn't long enough to practice the stuff that we didn't do well. We haven't stood there and hit thousands and thousands of balls. The practice is just really effective. We had a 9-hole challenge, which we didn't play great, but it's on camera. You've still got to play. You've still got to try and shoot as good a score as you can, even when you're playing bad. It's good practice for that, isn't it? You know,
well, the situations where you've got to grind it out to make a cut. You know, everyone thinks, you see the guys playing well at the other end of it. Top tens come Sunday, but you can play rubbish on Thursday and Friday, and you've just got to grind it out as much as you can to shoot level par, 1 under par, or whatever it is to go and make a cut. That at that point you get paid or you don't get paid. That's where you've got to really dig as deep as you can.
That's the only way to practice it as well. The only way to practice playing, and it sounds bad, you don't want to practice playing bad, but I think you do some of your best work when you actually do play bad. You could lose the plot like I have done quite a bit at times.
It's fun to watch.
Completely just jib it off and want to go home, but actually, like, I was awful today, but I was going down the last, and I was only 1 shot behind.
And you actually had a chance then, because I've hit it in the water.
Well, to be fair, I needed to make par from 70 yards, and I made bogey, so to say I had a chance was probably a bit more of a chance. Me and Paul grew up playing together, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we were always when we were young, we were always pretty good, weren't we? Like, not saying that.
I remember you having the lowest handicap I'd heard of, type thing in school and things. It was like, oh, Alex is off, whatever you were off, and I was like, what? What? You're better than me? What? Didn't like it at all, and from there, I don't know, we've become pretty good mates. And
I didn't grow.
No, you're still the same height now as what you were when you were 12. Your nose has got bigger, but that's about it.
My body hasn't grown into my nose. That's the problem. No swing speed coming from the nose, is there?
No, not at all.
We've got different practice habits. I was always, well, in recent years, I'd go on the range and hit ball after ball after ball and try and grind stuff in. And I did grind a lot of stuff in, but it wasn't the right stuff. And I'm not saying that being an idiot, but it wasn't the right stuff. Like, I ground a lot of bad stuff in, didn't I? Spent a lot of time doing it.
There's that other adage, isn't it? Practice doesn't make perfect, it makes permanent.
Yeah.
And the quantity you actually did was ridiculous at times. You hit far more balls than I ever hit. Far more balls. You've
always been efficient in your practice. I've always known, like, Paul's always known his own game, owned his own game, and known how much to practice, how much work he needs to put in for him to play good. People do, like, they will look and say, oh, doesn't hit enough balls, doesn't do this, doesn't do that, because everyone has got some, as it is in golf, everyone's got an opinion on what someone else is doing. But I know for a fact, if you stood on the range for 4 hours at a time, your work would be rubbish.
It'd be
unless you've got something
ineffective
specifically that you need to do in that time.
I was going to say, it's what can you achieve?
I've just got the fear of falling off.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Damien, we need some glass here, pal.
We'll get some.
What's achievable in 4 hours? Is it hitting 1,000 balls? Well, that's one thing, but going through a few games, a few, structured practice routines, that sort of things that are going to put you under a little bit of pressure while you're practicing. Not hitting 1,000 balls, working on technique's one thing. That's fine.
Yeah.
But
as long as it's the right thing.
As long as it's the right thing. But you're going to come to a point in time when you're playing golf, and it could be needing 5 down the last in your monthly medal to win. It could be your club champs. It could be winning a tour event. It could be Q school. It could be somewhere. where you're going to have to do something under pressure.
Yeah.
And if you don't practice and put yourself under pressure, you will never get used to it. Like you even said on that video, playing 9 holes, you were nervous over that putt on the last.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Which is
It
perfect,
was.
which is exactly how it should be. And whether you succeed or not, doesn't make a difference. And we weren't playing for anything, we weren't playing for any money. It's just sheer pride.
And it's on camera.
And it's on camera. But it makes your heart speed up a little bit, it makes your hands feel a bit fidgety, it'll bring those nerves into it, which is what you feel on a golf course. They're the things that you should be practicing being involved in, and unless you go and do that, unless you are physically putting yourself in that situation, how are you ever going to be able to get through that situation when you are actually under pressure?
That's exactly what we talk about whenever we say doing effective practice. Like, essentially, we've got that challenge game going, which is 2-2 now.
2-2.
We're doing those challenges because it is effective. It's the most effective practice, actually, that I've done. You're trying to put yourself in a situation. It's like practicing penalties in football. You practice them, it's not going to be the same as if you're in a game situation. And even us just going out and playing, if we play a game, and if you lose, you lose. It's like, it doesn't matter. But now we've got a running score going. It's on camera. You can't just delete it and not do it, because if he beats me because I've played horrendous, he's not going to let me not put it on.
Yeah,
and likewise,
you can't hide away from it. Like I said before, it shows that pros, we don't hit perfect golf shots.
Look at him there.
Al's got distracted.
Go on, son. Look at him.
How did you hit so many golf balls for so long when you get that distracted that easily?
Now look at him there going around the corner. Absolutely nailing it. Go on. It's like Eurosport, innit? Tour de Tenerife. Do they have one?
Can we carry on with this now, please? Idiot. Absolute idiot.
No, but what we were saying, that's where you've got to be really effective in your practice. And like you said, technique's one thing, and you need to spend time hitting balls and working on the right things. But you don't. It's better with someone doing the games, but you don't necessarily need it. You can do it on your own. You can make up your own games. If you do a chipping challenge, do 9 stations. Give yourself a certain amount of footage. You've got to chip through over those 9 holes at a target you've got to go for, and try and beat it every time you go out. Keep a record of it. That's the important thing, I think, is keeping a record of it.
You just think you see pros hitting ball after ball after ball, but I've got notes and notes and notes and notes about swing thoughts, scores in little games like this. It's all there. It's all written down. It's just things I can go back to and say, well, when I won, or when I finished here in this tournament, or when I was playing well there, I was doing this, this and this, and I was doing these 5 games to this standard. Where am I now, and where I let things go or let things slip? And it's quantifiable, because it's actually physically there in black and white, and I can go back and look at it and say, right, I did this in my pitch, and I was doing this in my short game, I was doing this in my putting. Can I score as good now in the same games? No, I can't in this. Well, that's probably why I've been playing a bit rubbish. Got to do a bit of work on it.
Couldn't agree with that more. Saying going back, probably maybe end of last year, and well, no, we're 2019, aren't we now? So end of 2017, last year, I've shown big improvements in my pitching and short game and stuff. But previous to that, and probably over the course of 8-9 years, and I've said before on my channel, I was awful. And honestly, someone that had played golf for a week could pitch better than me.
Sounds funny, we couldn't have competitive games.
No,
it was just
horrendous.
It just wasn't competitive at all.
Absolutely horrendous. My answer to that was going on the range and hitting. I used to go through a wedge. Honestly, I was wearing wedges out every month, because I was just hitting ball after ball after ball, 58-degree wedges, ridiculous amounts of balls, and it'd feel fine. You had that dog.
Seriously, concentrate.
I nearly put my Bushnell in my mouth then, rather than my butty.
It was alright. It's got to a stage where actually it was okay on the range, but it was so technical. There was no... Honestly,
shut up!
His head off. There was no... I never applied it in any way. It was just hitting balls, right, I'm good now, but there was no measurable improvement. I didn't have any statistics on it. I didn't have any sort of evidence to give me confidence. So trying to create confidence out of nothing was where I completely went wrong, and I'd have been better hitting 10 balls as a challenge, set myself a target, no matter how bad it was to start with, the points or whatever it did, however I measured it, it'd be awful. But as you said, it's quantifiable. It starts at that point, and then a measure of improvement. and honestly, it wouldn't have been hard to improve from where it was. But anyone that's struggling in that sort of area, and whether it's chipping, putting, pitching, whatever it is, I would start off and set yourself challenges and measure them, and don't worry about them being awful. I knew it'd be awful at the start. It was always going to be awful because I couldn't hit it. So I knew it was going to be that bad. But over time, it's still not there, but it's getting better and better. And we have games, don't we?
Yeah, well, look, we're 2-all, and you've just absolutely battered me in a chipping comp. Now, and you know, it wasn't like I was hitting back. Okay, I had one iffy trap shot, but the rest of it was all up and down. It was, it was up and down a lot of them, really. But that just wasn't part of what you were doing at all, was it? You know, like you say, you were just beating ball after ball after ball, where you were fine hitting ball after ball on the range. It was then when you got under pressure in tournaments that it really came out, which is what you needed to do. You need to put yourself under pressure again.
Effective practice is what it's about. That's what we're talking about on that sunset.
Yeah, that's unbelievable
as well. It's quite romantic, isn't it?
It is.
Shame me with you. Cheers, lad.
Cheers, lad.
Okay.
Salut.